Yeah.
You're live.
All right. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. I'm DZ. Ben is gone. It's his 1 day a month I host for him. I know I did do a day when he was in Boston. That one didn't count. So I'm here. Shout out to Brandon. You know, we all love Brandon here in chat. Apparently, he's Brandon's the king here. So yeah, I'm filling in. It's just something I do. I'll be here next month, but don't worry. Ben will be here for 5 p.m. He will be on Around the Blockchain. And speaking of Around the Blockchain, tomorrow we have Elio trades. Everybody,
Ooh.
Elio hasn't been on yet, so I'm really excited. We like watching Elio around here. Justin was saying he's one of 2 channels that he watches. Do you know the other one?
If I would guess Crypto Face.
It is Crypto Face.
Who actually I heard right before we walked in here just opened a long, and he's bullish right now.
Crypto Face is bullish. He opened a long. I mean, I actually have that as like, I hate to say it, I weigh that on the direction of the market more than anything when it comes to short-term timescales.
Crypto Face is your #1 indicator.
It's that market cipher. You can't really, is that market cipher is really, really good. So, I'm bullish on market cipher. So I was thinking today, I saw the peanut gallery. They're like, oh, you went over time. DZ was rambling. Next topic. And really, it was just like they wanted me to talk about talk about SHIB already. So, I'm gonna try to stick with the time. So, TJ, if you want to, feel free to chastise me if I'm
No, it's
long
fine.
here.
I don't mind keeping the SHIB armory waiting. and if there's anything we've learned about that audience is that patience is not something that they're all about. They want to get rich today.
Yeah, I mean, people ask me about SHIB. I don't own any. I was in it on the first run up months and months ago, and I didn't catch the top, but I saw it going down, and I jumped out. Haven't looked at it since. Yeah, maybe I could have bought low and had a little 3x, a little 4x, but yeah, it's just not something that I don't have the time to watch these meme coins because these meme coins are so volatile. They'll just rise and fall at the drop of a hat. I like to be in things with a little bit more legs behind it. I think I was pretty clear. The last thing I bought was Solana, Uniswap, and Chainlink, maybe Ethereum. So like that's where I'm putting my money. It's a little bit safer plays there.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the markets. Let's see what we got.
Let's do it. First, 1.31 million subscribers. And Kev, if you want to come up here real quick, we have a guest in the studio now. Classic Kev. This is his channel right here. He was in, if you look right here, he was in Nashville. He did a little interview with Ben. He's only 1,280 subs. So BitSquad, let's get that number up. Let's at least get him up to 2,000. Say hey real quick to the people.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Classic Kev. Yeah, if y'all want to check out the channel, but look like we got a real good show today. We got some Ethereum ETFs, Cardano news. I'm looking forward to just being here, man.
Yeah. So he's here. He came to Atlanta. Where do you stay? California or something?
No, New Orleans.
New Orleans. Yeah, if you couldn't tell from the accent. Yeah, he's here to interview Little Boozy. And Little Boozy is maybe getting into the NFT space. So he's going to be, after he leaves the studio, he's going straight to Little Boozyville, right?
Yeah. Well, and like you said, we met him out at the meetup, the BitSquad meetup there in Nashville. So love it anytime somebody from the BitSquad can make it by the office, hang out, and be here for the good time. So
yeah. We check out the TikTok here. We're at 2.7 million followers. We're getting closer to 3. We pass 50 million likes, so definitely check that out. And we go to Ben's Instagram. Wait a minute, who's this guy? Oh, there's another Instagram. I do want to say this: you got to be careful. There's scammers. I know Ben has a lot of scammers. The scammers are starting to pop out of the woodwork for me. There's one with 2 underscores. There's one with a dot after the underscore. Just be careful. I will never try to help you trade your crypto. Ben's not going to message you to try to help you trade your crypto. Hit Network, TJ, we're not going to try to help you trade your crypto. If you see that, it's a scam. Now, if you entered in a contest and it's like, Pluto Alliance official, tweets you back, yeah, I mean, check that out. You can always click on the link. But yeah, the scammer actually had more followers than I did on Instagram after 2 days.
Do. Yeah, they're pretty good. So, and that's one thing, like he said, generally speaking, you're not going to get a blind DM from one of those accounts to you So just keep that in mind. Like if somebody's sending you a message that has to do with crypto, like just be extra super careful because most likely it's not us.
Yeah, cool, Uncle Kev. I drive a Chrysler 300 for
Yeah.
those who are wondering. So I need a bigger vehicle. I can't fit in that little Lambo. I'm sure I could, but it'd be a little uncomfortable. We check out the Twitter right here. We're just shy of 600,000. This is breaking. This
Wow.
is breaking. So if we can get 900 followers today, we cross 600K. That's huge. We're fighting with Altcoin Daily, so we got to beat Altcoin Daily. I'm 10.7, rocketed past 10,000. So thank you, BitSquad. I know most of you, coming from the channel. Some of you NFT degens are also following me, and that's cool too. We love our NFTs here. All right, we're already down to 2 minutes. I said I was going to stick with it, and look at me rambling on. I'm blaming Kev. It was Kev's fault.
Yeah.
Damn it, Kevin. Anyways, all right. So we check out Market Watch. It looks like Bitcoin is just now starting to trade sideways. We're just shy of 62,000. What do you think about this? Some countries, Bitcoin is at an all-time high today.
Price wise.
Price-wise.
Yeah, I mean that's good. We're close to seeing that across the board. What's the total market cap?
Total market cap, if we look here, we are at a
2
right shy of 2.5 trillion here.
Yeah.
So we're getting way up there. 2.495. I mean, we like to round up here. So we're basically going to say 2.5, and 2.5 is basically 3, and 3 is basically 5. So we're basically at 5 trillion here. So
Well,
no, Bitcoin
2.6 I think was the all-time high. So we're right there.
Mhm.
So I think we're bound for a big breakout really soon.
I agree. I think the Bears, I'm sorry, you said there was never going to be another all-time high. Well, depending on what country you're in, you're already wrong. So come on, US dollar. Either the dollar needs to go down or Bitcoin needs to go up. One of these things needs to happen. The gas right now is a little bit pricey, but Bitcoin dominance, 47.2, getting close to that 50% mark. Ethereum falling further and further from that 20% mark. So I expect Ethereum, maybe 2 weeks from now, maybe even this week to start running up and pushing that 20%. I expect to see a 19% pretty soon. BNB has been doing pretty good. I felt good. I bought some BNB at 470. I pulled some out. I tethered out at 475, and then I FOMO'd back in at 470. So I think I made like 0.05 BNB or something, but I didn't lose any BNB. So that was the main thing. Doge down 5%. Sorry, all you Doge fans. We'll see what happens with that. I mean, it just doesn't like to go above 30 cents anymore.
Cosmos, I think, made a pretty good move today, I thought.
Okay. Well, let's see if it's popping up on one
There
of
it
these
is.
top gainers. Yeah. So we got Atom up, basically 6%. Again, we're rounding up. It's up 10%. It's up 100%. We got Near Protocol, not even near that 100% gain.
What's the refresh that? Is that current? I'm getting different numbers over here.
All right,
But
let's
maybe that's
refresh.
just
You know what? It could have been from when Iran clicked it, and then maybe they don't refresh. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, Adam, you were right. Yeah, look at that. I said 10%, and what happens? The
Boom.
market follows. Easy knows what he's talking about. KuCoin shares. Now J Chains likes to brag how I bought his bag. Well, look what's happening up here. We're up 25% on the week, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Sorry, J Chains, new father, but I gotta take the gains from his child. You know what I mean? I take gains wherever I can get those gains.
Savage.
We got Flow down right at 10%. Stacks. We got Perpcoin. Quant. XLM down 3%, but still up double digit for the week. Doge below a quarter. I mean, if you want to have some Doge, I could see maybe another run up to 50 cents. I don't know if it can hit $1. I don't think it will hit 70 cents again, but you got to be careful not to count out the Doge. The Doge will bite. Doge got a little bite as well as a little bark there. Go ahead.
Do you want to do some Q&A?
Let's do some Q&A. I love it.
You were ready to jump straight for the charts. But,
That's right.
People,
we got a new thing. It used to be Market Watch, right? But now it's under charts. All right.
People have questions. So we'll start with Tehran Crypto or Terran Crypto. Like I like to say Terran because it makes me think of StarCraft.
Yeah, StarCraft. Go.
This was kind of an interesting question. When will we no longer see stable coins in the top 10 of market cap? And I don't know. It's going to be a while, in my opinion. What do you think?
I think it could be never.
Yeah,
I could see like if the government does really back, their own stablecoin, or they just jump on USDC, you know, because they're talking with Circle or in Center. Yeah, I mean, maybe never, you know, maybe never, but I will think that we'll see a consolidation. I think, you know, we'll have less in the top 50 or top 20, but I think we'll have one in the top 10 that will probably just stay, you know, maybe even unseat Cardano for that number 3 spot.
Yeah. No, that was my first thought too, is maybe never. But then I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, if all these smart contract platforms start seeing all the assets of the world move over, all the stock market and real estate, then they'll probably pass the stable coins. But I imagine there'll probably always be one or two either in or close to the top 10. If it falls out, it's going to be a long way into the future.
Yeah, and I
10,
think with
20
these
years.
attractive staking options,
Yep.
you'll have these people who have 5% of their net worth in crypto. And of that 5%, you know, 4.8% will be like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but 0.2% of that will then end up being, you know, stable coin staking or something like that.
Is this, does that have to do with Pluto
When
launch?
is Jupiter getting an airdrop? Well, we started with the Jupe. Jupe's got the first one. So yeah, there's I mean, we just did a drop for every single planet, received a chance to win an Ethereum tower. So yeah, Jupe's getting a thing, but just gotta understand there's 3,000 Jupiters and there's only 50 black holes. So if we're doing something where, you know, we're gonna give away 50 of something, it's you know, Jupiter counts, you know, if they get 50 things in airdrop, but it's a scratch off ticket, essentially kind of like a black hole, but your odds are going to be better with your higher rarities. I bought a Mercury last night. Full disclosure, I'm not even saying anything, you know, I know anything. It's just it looked cheap. It looked cheap. It was under a quarter ETH. So I bought a Mercury last night.
There you
I'm a
go.
believer in the project.
Well, we'll stick with NFTs. I feel like we get questions around this a lot when you're hosting, but do you think chain gaming will be the rock star space this altcoin season? What do you feel is the next Axie Infinity? So I guess he's saying if we get not, we've talked a lot about how NFTs might fare in a bear market, but he's asking if you think chain gaming or chain gaming blockchain coins could be kind of the big winners in these next couple months before the blow off top.
I think some will be bigger than Axie Infinity. When I talk to people about like how is Axie Infinity as far as gameplay, it's no Halo 2.
Yeah.
It's no Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's no Final Fantasy 7. There still isn't any like killer DApp that just everyone has to play. I mean, you never hear people saying like, "Oh my god, Zed Racing is just so fun. I can't stop playing." But people like the gambling aspect of racing the horses, you know, and breeding their horses. So, I mean, what's the next Axie Infinity? I think something will be bigger than Axie Infinity, but we're still waiting for a big game. I've mentioned it before, you know, I think Crypto Demons side scrollers looking like Castlevania. To me, I think that's pretty cool. Degen Gaming has a Street Fighter type game that looks pretty cool. Shout out to Street Dogs, by the way. I just got my Street Dogs hat. You own the NFT, they mail you the hat for free, no shipping. You do have to give an address. I mean, I know like they can't just like put it under a park bench in, you know, New York City or something. Like you do have to give them an address, but they verify it, and then once it's claimed off that NFT, it changes the metadata. So it was pretty cool, no gas or anything, and I got me a Street Dogs hat. So shout out to Street Dogs.
All right, this is kind of an interesting question, mostly because of their time frame. But Cosmos, Dot, or Other, which will have the biggest market cap 10 months from now? Which
Well,
is,
I mean, we can't say other because that would just clearly be Bitcoin. But Cosmos or Polkadot, I don't know. Everyone in the office is super bullish on Dot.
mhm.
I'm kind of, you know what it's reminding me of? It's like it just had a run up, and everyone's like, you know, you would think, oh, maybe you should stay away. But you know what we were saying that about? We're saying that about Solana when it ran up. We're like, oh, you know, I don't know. You know, I think it's gone up. I don't know if it has room. Dot could be a Solana where, you know, there's still room. So there's certain coins, you know, when it's up 20%, 30% in a week, you know, typically you just want to stay away. But sometimes things pump for a reason and it will have that momentum. So, you know, you don't always have to just buy things that are in the red. It's very rarely, but sometimes it's okay to buy something in the green. I think I'm leaning towards Dot could be one of those rare exceptions.
Yeah, I think both obviously are strong projects. We hold a lot of both of them, but I was really interested that he said 10 months from now. So I think Dot will definitely run in the next couple months. A lot of the reason people are excited is about those parachain
Hmm.
auctions, but I feel like Cosmos has been slow and steady progressing with tech over time, where Dot gets big runs, retraces, big runs, retraces, and a little more volatile.
Yeah.
So just for fun, since you're taking DOT, I'll take Cosmos for 10 months from now. We'll see where we're at.
One thing Justin Williams here always stresses is speculation is always better than, you know, fundamentals.
Yeah, that is true. We're in a speculation
All right,
space.
we're at almost 8,000 viewers here, 7,980. We just need a score, just one score, and we're at 1604 on the likes. I know
Wow.
we can get that. Let's raise that floor, and let's hear the crowd roar. Hit those like buttons. Let's get up to 2,000 here.
Yeah, because we don't want to snore.
Okay, nice. I like it. I like it.
All right, let's jump into the charts.
All right, let's jump into the charts here. We got speaking of crypto face, we have a little market cipher indicator here. This is the daily on Bitcoin, and what a daily it is. What a daily. If we go back, you can see that this daily candle right here. Let's see. Not the biggest fan. I always feel like I have carpal tunnel syndrome after I use this pad. I got large
Hold
man
on, do
hands.
that again. Two hands on the touchpad.
It's like I said, I mean, my wrist hurts. Like, I don't know. I feel like I was, you know, I've been cutting hair for like 3 decades or something. All right. So if we look at this daily, this is, what's the date here? This was the 14th of April, and it was a red candle. It closed, you know, a little bit lower. You know, we're saying, you know, they're saying we had the highest daily close, and I don't know. This is looking a little bit, you know, there could be a little bit of a cool off period, but this is one of those things like it's running up and it's running up for a reason. I know before I was feeling very bearish, you know, not very bearish, but slightly bearish. And these days, exact opposite. I'm starting to feel real bullish. But then, you know, that's a double-edged sword. Maybe that's when you got to be a little more careful, is when everyone's feeling a little bullish. So we look at the 4-hour chart here. Looks like, you know, the money flow is still in the green. So the money flow is still nice and juicy. There's water on the plants, as they say. If we go to the bigger time frame here, let's say if we check out a week, I don't know, man. It's just looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. To me, you know, I know a little TA, and, you know, Bitcoin likes to laugh in the face of people's predictions. But this is not a, you know, a bearish chart to me. This doesn't look like a dead cat bounce to me. This doesn't look like, you know, phase, was it C going into D of the Wyckoff pattern to me. I mean, this looks like we're ready for another little jump up. I don't know the extent of it. And again, you know, this is all, you know, this is, at the end of the day, we're trying to make educated guesses here. So I don't want you to say like DZ said it is doing this guaranteed, but it's starting to look pretty good to me. We look at even this 8 hours looking pretty good. So we got a green dot on the 8 hour.
I just wanted to, while you're looking at this, look at how many times I think it's been 3-ish times, maybe 4 that we've been, or maybe 2 that we've been up right near that 63 number, kind of bouncing off it. I think right now is the 3rd or 4th time we've been coming up to that, but just double check that.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to figure, like, it's very rare that a Bitcoin was bought above this. I'm sure there's some that like bought a spiked candle on the hourly or even the 5-minute, but I mean, right now we're entering price discovery mode. We're not quite there, but you got to figure 99 point something of all Bitcoin are in profit right now. Some are selling. I saw one. It could be fake because this was from the whale, crypto whale. He's a bearish Twitter personality, and he was saying a whale dumped just a couple hours ago. It's just one whale. I don't even know if that's true. I'm going to try to investigate that later. But if we check out Ethereum, you know, we were talking about this. Ethereum likes to do what it does a month after Bitcoin. So it likes to party, but it shows up late to the party. Then it won't get out of your kitchen. It's you know, sitting there making a pizza in your oven at like 3 a.m. You just want him out of here, but he's ready to keep on partying. So I think Ethereum might continue that pattern. I mean, it just consistently likes to pop a month later. This is now, what's your speculation? Mine is it's the whales, you know, sliding their money around. What do you think is, why do you think it's just so able to be predicted that it's a month later?
I think part of it has to do obviously with people making profits from Bitcoin. So like if you hold a lot of Bitcoin, you're up, then you've got some house money, so to speak, or excess funds to move into Ethereum. And it's been kind of a cycle ever since altcoins were being born, that like you're up in Bitcoin, you have some profits, you're going to move it down into the bigger altcoins, Ethereum, etc. Then Ethereum pumps, and people are up in their Ethereum. They're looking to mid caps, micro caps. You know, I'm gonna throw $100 here, $1,000 there, 10. You know, like whatever you want to do into the micro caps to try to get that big come up. Then you roll it into Ethereum, and then things start going down. You see it roll all the way down into the micro caps, and then people rolling all their profits back up into Bitcoin, and
Yep.
that's generally how the experienced traders do it and make a lot of money. And then a lot of the retail is kind of chasing that trend the whole time, and they're usually left out in the cold. So that's why you guys watch this channel, and everybody's stacking Bitcoin right now. You'll see Bitcoin's
Yep.
moving, alts aren't, for the last week or so. And we probably have another week or so of that ahead. And then what's the basement's getting you?
No, DZ about to drop another $75 into Chainlink. There's nothing wrong with buying 3 Chainlink at a
Yeah.
time. You know,
No,
like we don't want to disparage people who just maybe DCA with $25 here, $50 here. I was talking to the Ocean crew, and they're talking about they bought some sheep and what should they do, and we're talking about it for like 10 minutes, and then at some point I was like, "Well, how much did you buy?" And he said $20. I said, what are we even talking about here? What are we even talking about here? But you got to tell yourself, there's some young people, and there's people, money's a little tight. People got kids, people got bills, people got medical expenses. So
It's all
I don't like to
relative.
make fun of people for, just buying a little here, a little there. But
Oh, we got a poll going in Twitch chat. Who's better, TJ and Ben or TJ and DZ? So I like my odds on that one.
Guaranteed victory. You like to stack it, but it's called it's a technique called setting the table before you even sit. So you're just guaranteed to win no matter what. Just real quick, I do want to look at this weekly chart on Ethereum. Looks like we maybe are starting a little bit of a pullback. This weekly chart just started, so we still got 5 days, 9 hours. So we're barely a quarter into this week, so there's still plenty of time. I wouldn't worry too much about this weekly chart. It doesn't look the best, but it's not something I'm typically concerned about. We might have it bounce off this. I don't know if that might be the 7-day moving average or 7-week moving average. The daily looks good, and the 4-hour looks like maybe a small red dot might be forming, but then perhaps we'll get a trigger wave again. We'll see if this support holds. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
And I just wanted to point out, somebody in the chat said time in the market is greater than the amount in the market, and I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I mean, you could have put in $1 in a Bitcoin, when it was under, when it was a penny, and you're going to be richer than someone putting in millions. So yeah, time is always going to be better than the amount that you put in. So definitely agree with that. All right, well, ready to get into some Facebook here.
Let's
we're talking about the Zuck before the show. All right, Facebook's Novi taps Paxos, Coinbase. They're in bed together ahead of DM rollout. Now, DM was what they used to call Libra. It's their currency that they're going to try to make. So we'll see. They say it was a stable coin. It was going to be back to different currencies, and they went back on that. So we'll see how that develops. Coinbase will provide custody services, while Paxos is supplying the stable coin Novi will use. Let's see here. Is ready to launch, but won't be launching with the DM, formerly the Libra stablecoin. Novi, the digital wallet subsidiary, will go live in the US and Guatemala in a pilot program, allowing them to start trading the Paxos dollar, USDP, as if we don't have enough. The social media giant announced Tuesday Coinbase will provide the custody services for the program. So you can buy the USDP through Novi, and then it'll deposit the funds into your Coinbase. And it does not mean the support for it has changed, and they intend to launch Novi with DM once it receives the regulatory approval and goes live. It's already gone live, but it's being rolled out slowly on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. So I wonder if that's going to be the Novi app, not the Facebook app. But I imagine that's going to change, right?
It'll probably be the Novi wallet is probably what they'll call it. But in the future, I would imagine it'll be built in, obviously, to the Facebook app and integration. So I think for now, for older phones, you'll probably have to go download it. But in the future, just like, with Facebook, it'll probably come pre-installed on your phone. You can't get rid of it even if you want to.
Yeah, they'll get that deal with T-Mobile and Verizon and AT&T, and then they'll prompt you. And then it's like, next thing you know, to buy a couch from Facebook. Shout out to Brian and New Money Gang. When you're buying a couch, like, oh no, you need to set up your wallet. We're gonna handle. I don't know how they'll do that. I mean, we'll see. I think they'll try to integrate it. I think there will be some pushback from these people who do flip furniture and, you know, maybe try and buy a Pokemon card or something.
I think
They might have a little pushback.
it'll probably just be another payment option within the Facebook Marketplace. So you
Yeah.
can pay with Google, pay with Apple, or use your Diem wallet. And if you have funds in it, you can transfer it. It's a stable coin, you know. So, and it's interesting to me. Paxos is another one we've seen very involved with Circle, who does USDC. Those two stable coins, the Gemini dollar, I feel like is competing, but it doesn't seem to have the same level of, you know, acceptance, I would say, from the, you know, market makers and powers that be that make a lot of these decisions. So I think the Paxos dollar and USDC are going to be the two stable coins we see stick around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the basement chat is undefeated. Nick Demondi, he was hyping up the basement chat. Look, you know, we give them bread and water. There's a little bit of sunlight that comes through, you know, a horizontal window that's like 4 inches above the dirt. So
Right.
look, we take care of our basement people. That's more than they deserve. Okay, they don't even deserve that much. They should just get a hose. But
Look, they're in there because they're true degens. So let's not get that confused.
yeah. And Mom, where's the meatloaf? All right, Facebook to hire. Look, Facebook, they're not going to give up. They're not just going to roll over and, you know, play dead here. The Zuck doesn't want his apps to suck, so he's definitely going to run amok and he's going to do everything he can to make sure everything's a success. Everyone likes to trash Facebook, but you know what? You walk around, you see everyone on Instagram. So people like to trash it, but then they use their products. So they're going to hire 10,000 people in the European Union to build the metaverse. They're definitely trying to be, you know, like the Ready Player One. Hire 10,000 in Europe to build a metaverse. It will combine the virtual and augmented reality technologies in a new online realm. Announced the recruitment drive on Sunday, saying it would take place over 5 years. So, you know, 2,000 a year, probably start a little bit slower than, you know, maybe ramp into that. As we begin the journey of bringing the metaverse to life, the need for highly specialized engineers is one of Facebook's most pressing priorities. The idea behind it is to create a space similar to the internet where users can walk around and interact with one another in real time. In theory, they could sit around a virtual meeting table with remote colleagues, walk over to a virtual Starbucks. You know who's going to be the celebrities in the metaverses, right?
Me and you.
Punks and apes.
Oh.
I think if you got a punk or an ape, I think, you know, people are going to flock to you. I think it's going to be like a huge thing. Like, you know, I don't want to say it's, you know, like Tom Cruise or something like that, or, you know, like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie at their height. But yeah, I see that being like one of the main things, like, oh my God, there's a punk here.
Well, and when you're really able to make them true avatars, you know, 3D interactive, like that's going to be definitely the next iteration of NFTs, is when you have in-game items and, like wearables and costumes. And like you said, if you could be an ape or be a crypto punk or have their features, like that's where random NFT drops are going. You know,
Yep.
right now you mint it and you get a picture. What if you were to step into a machine, which is, you know, in a metaverse, you're minting, you know, you click the button physically, you get random features that come out on your body based on what you put, and you get to mix and match and keep, oh, I'm going to keep the hair and the baseball bat, I'm going to take off the jacket and the shoes, I'm going to go mint something else. Like that's where we're headed for sure.
And they'll look like trash in the beginning. You know, remember like GoldenEye, like how bad that looked? Like, yeah, they're all going to look terrible. They're going to look like an early Tomb Raider game, but it will evolve and it'll start looking good. And so, I mean, you know, the Bored Apes probably won't look as good as the punks in the beginning because, you know, the pixelated ones are just going to be easy to port over. Whereas, you know, trying to make a 3D ape, there's going to be a lot of work, and not every avatar project's probably going to get selected by, you know, these sandboxes and other metaverses. But it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Just wrapping up the Facebook thing, they're describing it as an exciting time for the tech industry. So the owner of the Instagram WhatsApp touted AI research investments in France and a new office in Ireland as a measure of his commitment in the region. In June, the EU Commission launched an investigation to assess whether they breached competition rules by using data gathered from advertisers on its platform to compete against them. So they are under investigation and appearing even before U.S. lawmakers earlier this month. The product manager, Francis Haugen, detailed a range of concerns. So, yeah, I mean, that was breaking news, but none of this really should be news to people who are paying attention. It's like, yeah, if it's a free product, you are the product. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's 2021. Like, it should be time for us to figure all this stuff out. Yeah, you are the product. They're selling your data. They're selling your location. They're selling how long you hover over an advertisement. Yeah, of course, you are the product. So it's always shocks me that people are like, they're selling my data. Like, well, yeah. What do you think they're doing with it?
Of course.
But yeah, if you don't see the lick, you're the lick. That's what I like to say. So use Facebook. You're the lick. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, let's see. We had the ADA thing. Oh no, the Ethereum ETF shares. Let's go right into the next one here. Grayscale CEO, SEC. We all love that guy.
Can you scoot to the left just a little bit? My left, or not you? The screen.
Oh, I
There
got
you
you.
go.
My left.
Oh,
I
you
had it
have
right
it.
the
There
first
you
time.
go.
Oh yeah, right there. All right. So the head of the largest crypto asset manager believes that after approving Bitcoin futures ETF, SEC is likely to bring an Ethereum-based ETF to the market. That would make sense. I mean, we are, that's logically that makes sense. The Bitcoin ETF is going to draw more capital for Bitcoin products. SEC may well approve the Ethereum one. And let's see here. The chief CEO of Grayscale, Michael Sonnenschein, that's a weird name, has appeared on another CNBC show to talk about the approval of first Bitcoin ETF by the SEC. He shared his take on the results of the ETF approval for the crypto industry and opined on what steps the SEC may take for the industry next. I mean, he's not going to FUD it, you know what I mean, as they're launching this project. He believes that the approval of the first Bitcoin futures ETF is likely to attract more capital and more investors into this ecosystem. I've seen two takes on this. We have some people saying, oh, this is the biggest thing in the world. My uncle, he's, traditional investor, and, they wouldn't want to do this unless it was approved. ETFs, tax liability issues, safety issues, doesn't want to get a wallet. And I understand all that. But then you have the other side saying, oh, this is actually bad. This is for the sophisticated investors who have access, like if you're the type of person who's trading this, you're probably already trading, Canadian ones or overseas ones. So, this isn't really going to inject new capital. They're already in it. I'm leaning towards the former. I think it will be a positive, but I don't know. We have people saying things on both sides. Where do you kind of land on that?
I don't know if positive and negative has so many variables based on what you think is positive and negative. I guess if we're talking specifically for the price, I do tend to think this is good for exposure. It gives access to a lot of people with a lot of capital, makes it a lot easier for them to get exposure to Bitcoin, even if they're not actually going to be physically holding it themselves. I think I don't know if it's in this rundown, but we were looking at a story this morning that said 10% of Americans hold 90% of the stock.
I think we cover it. Yeah.
So if you think about it that way, it does open things up to, yes, they're more sophisticated investors, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're, a sophisticated, accredited investor who's buying and selling. And, they're generally, it's your parents and your grandparents that have their nest egg sitting there, that they heard about all this stuff with Bitcoin. They've been interested in it for years, and their financial advisors been telling them, oh, no, just wait. Could be a scam. Well, now that it's set up and the financial advisor can actually help them and do something, AKA make some money by moving their money for them, they'll say like, oh yeah, maybe you should get a 1 to 2 to 3% exposure to this emerging asset class. And so we'll see that. And it does vindicate, verify, give a lot of credence and weight, I guess, to Bitcoin as an asset class that it probably didn't have from the mainstream before. Like we're used to it because we're in it every single day, and everybody in our life touches Bitcoin, talks about Bitcoin, hears about Bitcoin, where most people, we forget, generally have very little knowledge of Bitcoin. So I think it's huge.
Yeah, no, I'm leaning towards the bullish camp if I really had to choose. Already past time, but we just covered this last part of it. ProShares Bitcoin ETF to launch the 19th. Hey, what do you know? That's today.
Hey.
It has been confirmed, and it will hold Bitcoin futures, but not Bitcoin itself. It will finally launch after a 75-day review. And Jim Cramer stated this week 4 are expected to get SEC approval. If at least one of them is launched, he believes it'll likely reach a short-term peak or even a real peak. How do you feel about selling your crypto now, Kramer?
Yeah.
And they're
Genius.
saying Sonnenschein is sunshine in German. So Dakushan, I think. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that pretty terribly. And speaking of pronouncing something terribly,
Here we go.
prominent economist Holger Scheispitz tweeted that the SEC will not be announcing its approval of the ETF. However, ahead of the deadline for approving, it did not meet any objections from the regulatory agency. Thus, it's getting ready for the launch on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Bitcoin loving to fluctuate on the news with the long-expected ETF being about to kick off. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's bullish. I mean, we're looking at these charts. It seems like the market agrees.
It's definitely historic. You know, I saw a
Yeah.
tweet from Charlie Shrem, you know, who was there right at the very beginning, created BitInstant, one of the first kind of Bitcoin exchanges that existed in New York for sure. And, you know, he was saying like it was an image of the ETF ticker on the New York Stock Exchange. And he was just saying it's a very surreal to see it come this far in such a short amount of time. And I can't imagine what it's like for those guys and the perspective they had. It's just like, wow, that's crazy.
BTFD. Buy the freaking dip. Buy the
right.
dip. You
Here we
know,
are.
buy the dip. If you're at a restaurant, you're at the Mexican place, you're there with the date, buy the queso.
Get some
Buy
guacamole.
the guac. You know what I mean? Like, she'll appreciate it.
Yep.
I've never met a chick who didn't like guac or queso. In
That's
fact, I've never met a
facts.
person who never liked guac or queso. So we're bullish on dips here. And one, they taste good. Two, it's always better to buy cheaper crypto. So we're bullish on dips here.
Somebody here had never had queso before. I can't remember who it was.
It was Decker.
Decker.
Decker had never had white queso. Everything he
Decker
did was
Bobbin.
like, he was like a wide-eyed infant, you know, like.
I miss that guy.
Oh my God.
He texted me the other night, making sure we still have a room for him. I'm like, we always got a room for you, bud.
Yeah, yeah. Your room's still empty. Don't worry. You know,
Yeah.
I'll be curled up at the foot of your bed as per usual. All right. Cardano subsidiary Emergo. Hey, where's our Cardano fans? Could we get a little ADA? Hashtag ADA gang in chat. I know BJ loves his ADA.
Yeah.
We did get some questions on the Cardano staking pool. We were just going through an update, so there was a little delay. But yeah, just be patient. The rewards are going to be hitting online pretty soon. Do you know any kind of timeline on that?
Yeah, we are minting new blocks. We minted one last night. If you guys missed the update yesterday, what we're doing to make up for that downtime is we've changed the block rewards. Basically, the cost for us, we put at 0% as far as our fee. So we're actually operating the pool at a loss to make up for those gains. So you're going to earn the full reward. Anybody who's staking with us gets basically the highest possible reward you could ever get on a Cardano node. So
yeah, we take care of you. So yeah, just be patient.
That's going to run for the next 7 epochs. That should balance everything out. And then we're back to business as usual.
All right, so you heard it here first. Yeah, so definitely, and if you got some Cardano sitting around not doing anything, you know, look into that. Where could they go to find out information about staking B-Pool?
If you go to bitboycrypto.com, I don't know if you have it up right there. I can show it on the screen. It should be very easy.
Oh, this is the DeFi store. They tricked me. With
maybe
the DeFi
is there a back
store.
button up there? Maybe just go back or just type it in. But if you go to bitboycrypto.com, you'll see a header right there at the top that has the B-Pool stats right there underneath. Right underneath. Yep. And you click that blue B-Pool. That'll take you right to it.
All right.
And there's all the info.
All right, cool. So yeah. I've gotten a couple messages. I know you'll message some of us here. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. So back to Cardano here and Ada Gang. Y'all are coming in strong. I appreciate that. Go ahead and hit that like button while you're at it. The investment arm of Cardano has partnered one of its subsidiaries with Adanian Labs, Pan-African venture studio. Is focused on building a platform where African tech startups can thrive and access all key resources that allow them to grow. So Cardano, they're doing all these huge moves in Africa. You know who's also making huge moves in Africa? China. Africa's, you know, going to be one of the next big waves as far as, you know, like very high income. I don't want to say with their.
There's a big economic opportunity there.
Big economic opportunity. There are some currencies that may be failing, but, you know, like as far as the standard of living and all that goes, with their, you know, average income, I see that rising. I see phone access rising. I see everything. I mean, there's a reason China is investing heavily in it, is all I'm going to say. I wouldn't bet against their long-term strategy plans. So according to a statement issued by the labs, the goal of this partnership is to bring financial and educational empowerment via the Cardano blockchain platform to the billions who lack the opportunity. As part of the Emergo Africa, a subsidiary of Emergo's new $100 million Cardano ecosystem investment vehicle. So, I mean, you can do a lot with $100 million. They aim to build 300 tech-powered, impact-driven startups by 2025. That's a good number. Cardano, it's a slow mover. So I mean, a lot of people are expecting big things right out the gate with the Lonzo hard fork. No, this is going to take a while. So this is resilient companies, entrepreneurs, youth who will sustain the economies even with limited resources. They emphasize that this partnership will also forge more efficient collaborations that will enable the labs to build quicker, scale faster, and optimize the money that is being injected here. The CEO claims the partnership will help provide the Cardano subsidiary with a great framework to launch in Africa. I'm inclined to agree. I see big things moving from there. I think it'll be pretty interesting to watch. It's the next continent that's like going to be making big moves. The rest of the 2020s, 2030s, and especially as we move more to a work from home, where you could be working in Silicon Valley, but you're really in Laos or Myanmar, or you're in Ethiopia. So we're gonna see more of that, and I'm pretty bullish on the continent as a whole next 10, 15 years.
A lot of smart people there, a lot of people, a lot of money looking at Africa as that opportunity, whether it's Cardano or China, or we know Akon and those guys have a lot going on down there with Stellar. So there's a lot of attention on Africa right now, and a lot of smart potential down there as well.
Yeah, I mean it's resource rich.
Mhm.
As more and more people get, as long as the education starts getting a good foundation, and next thing you know, you have cheap labor, cheap locations. It's resource rich. You probably live in some beautiful place. Watch out for I was gonna do that Val Kilmer Lion movie reference, but I can't remember, something in the darkness or something. But yeah, you gotta watch out. Maybe probably some hellacious mosquitoes out there or
Oh, yeah.
something that you probably gotta look out. Some beetle that might like slice your Achilles tendon. But other than that, it's probably I've never been. It's definitely a place I want to go, but
Mhm.
I got to do some traveling. But these are all bear market things.
That's right.
If we get one,
Yeah.
if we get one.
Bear market activities, if it
Yeah.
ever comes.
If they ever come. I mean, who it's supposed to be, already there. I thought I was gonna be able to travel now, but we're working on things. I've never had a day off here. Maybe one day in the future, DZ will have a day off.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Maybe next summer.
I'm just gonna take a long sip on that one and think about it.
That's fine. You've earned it.
All right, let's cover Polkadot here. We already, we were talking about it before. We are a little bullish on Polkadot. The treasury with more than 800 million to be spent on ... Easy's wallet. Let's see. So we got no highlight. We're just going to cover the main things here. It's the 8th biggest blockchain by the
way,
market cap.
DZ, they clipped you typing with one finger.
What do they call it? Hunt and peck or something like that.
Hunt and peck.
Like,
Oh, boy.
no, this is a small keyboard. Like my hand doesn't really.
Oh, it's the keyboard's fault.
If I do the, what was it, the ASDF, like the JKL like colon thing, like I don't know, it's
I can actually type really fast on these keyboards. Those
TJ's a great typer.
I
TJ
am
is a
I'm
really
fast
really good
typer.
typer. I kind of 7th grade, they're teaching keep. I'm old, okay? So 7th grade, I remember they were teaching. I remember thinking, like, as the other students were like using the hands, I was like, I'm committing to this. Like day one, I committed to this, and then like 3 months later, I was like, oh, I've made a huge mistake.
But I'm
And by
sticking
then it
with
was
it.
too late.
Yeah, you're committed at that point.
I was committed at that point. It is something that I do try to work on. I do, like, every now and then I'll try to type without looking, and then sometimes I'm just too busy. I gotta hunt and peck, man. I'm a hunt and pecker. All right, so Polkadot has been making headlines since in this month. One of the reasons is the price rally on the 13th. The rally could be linked to some exciting developments ahead, such as the upcoming parachain launch and slot auctions. This is what TJ was talking about. Founder Gavin Wood took to Twitter to make an announcement about their treasury, saying the treasury had more than 18 million or at the time, almost $1 billion, $800 million. He explained that the money would be used to build and improve the Polkadot ecosystem based on what the governance community felt was valuable. So you get to vote. The governance community is basically just meaning you hold some dot, you get a little skin in the game. You get a little bit of you get a little voice, you get a little vote. So yeah, they're looking to the community. So that can be, we said it before, it can be a double-edged sword. Sometimes community will try to, like, be a little short-sighted, like, no, I want to get paid now. I don't want to worry about some sort of long-term thing. I've definitely seen that in NFT space, NFT DAOs where they allow the holders to vote.
Mhm.
Oftentimes I'm like, God, you guys are just too short-sighted, but I don't know. I'm long-term bullish on NFTs, so maybe I have a little bit of a different mindset. I'm not just trying to flip my JPEG in 2 days. So when one user asked about the source of so many dots, the dot in the treasury comes as a natural part of the network protocol. Fees, slashes, and suboptimal staking configurations are all contributing factors. If it goes unused, it slowly gets burned. Currently burning 240,000 dot every single month. So what was dot at again? They're losing almost 250,000 dot every day. Let's see here. Polkadot. I have the refresh. Was it around like 15 or something? No, it's 8 actually. So $40. They're losing $40 times 250,000. So I mean, they're burning it up. They're definitely. I mean, they're burning. I mean, we're calling them the Cheech and Chong coin here. So the dot in the I's are crossing the T's. Changes are coming. 11 parachain auctions starting on the 11th of November. This is one of the topics we covered on ATB last week.
Mhm.
There's only 100 or so available slots. So people got to basically bid on it. As more and more parachains are going to want to jump into this ecosystem, they're going to have to hold dot. So, I mean, dot is looking a little bit bullish with some of this news. How do you feel about dot's the candy?
That's the candy.
Yeah.
I'm don't really have a strong opinion on them. That's the one they're like stuck to paper, right?
No, they come. Yeah, it's in a little paper rectangle, like little
Yeah.
cube looking thing, and they come out. And they kind of like stick in your teeth or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not against them. I generally like those, like chewy, fruity kind of candies like Starburst and stuff like that. So, but I don't, they don't. It's never something I would ever go for or think about necessarily. But
Yeah,
I will
I'm
say on Dot the crypto, $40. Just looking back over the last few weeks, looks like a pretty good, and it's pretty solid support range there. It's been around that price a few different times.
Does
so.
anybody know what the dot on an I is called?
A tittle.
I
I
don't-
learned that the other day.
I don't know. What is it?
A tittle.
Tittle?
Tittle.
I feel like I can't say that. Tittle?
T-I-T-T.
Like titillating?
L-E. Well, kind of.
Okay. Tittle. So like when a mummy has it was cold when they got wrapped up and it's brittle, you would call that a okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, here we're gonna move on. We're moving on. Talking about the wealthiest 10%. That we mentioned this earlier.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Wealthiest 10% of Americans own a record 89% of all U.S. stocks. How come the CNBC always cuts off the bottom? They got away with it this time because there's no like J's or G's or P's, but
you can
they
see it.
always screw that up. I don't know. You would think they have enough money. DZ show is not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I have a white tee. Someone throw a cup of water on me. Okay, the wealthiest 10% of American households now own 89% of all U.S. stocks, a record high. It highlights stock market's role in increasing wealth inequality. Top 1% gained over 6.5 trillion in equities and mutual fund wealth during the pandemic. So as people were losing their jobs, losing their homes, they're making trillions. The bottom 90% of Americans held about 11% of stocks and added 1.2 trillion in wealth during the COVID pandemic. And you know what the craziest thing to me is? I feel we have a record number of younger people buying stocks. So if there wasn't a Robinhood, that number would be much scarier. It'd be probably closer to like 93%, 94%. I don't know like what the average, how many users they have. I've looked into it. It's really not that much, but it's easier now to buy stock than it's ever been. When I was growing up, I was buying stocks pretty early for my situation and, late teens, early 20s. And I remember, I had to get an E-Trade account, had to go to my bank, had to get my E-Trade account routing number, go to my bank, spend, I think, $50, maybe 30 or 40 to wire the money. Then I had to wait. Then it hits my account. And then I can buy a stock on E-Trade. And then they're charging me $9.99 for every single time I did a trade. So it was a huge hurdle buying stocks. These days, it's super easy. So I can only imagine what this inequality would be like if we didn't have access to this. So it's scary. It's scary. I mean, the wealth inequality is rising. It's not something I would say, like, oh, we're going to have, Mad Max world in 5 years, but something will have to change because otherwise, I'm not gonna own nothing and be happy. If I own
Right.
nothing, I'm gonna be a little upset. Like, oh,
Mhm.
I own an Oculus in my rental. And I'm like sitting there eating Cheetos while I got these goggles on. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun to me personally. I would like to succeed in the American dream. You know what I mean? I want the white picket fence and all that good stuff. So that's just my view.
Yeah, well, and that's part of what makes crypto and blockchain so great. I mean, a lot of people say blockchain could be the biggest wealth transfer that in a generation or many generations. So hopefully we can see this reset things in a little bit of a more decentralized way, so it doesn't keep slowly sliding to those that have the most, slowly accumulating more and more and more, and we can get a little bit of a better distribution.
Someone in chat said don't use Robinhood. I wouldn't use it for crypto, but if you just want a little exposure to a stock, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. A
Yeah.
good Bitcoin stock. I don't have any. I'm not trying to show my own bag. Is Marathon, MARA. It's a
Hmm.
Bitcoin mining play. I'm pretty bullish on that. So, and Coinbase I think is undervalued
Coin.
as
Yep.
bloated as it is. I think that could be a $1 trillion company one day. So the wealthiest 10% now own basically 90% of all stocks. Is record high. Let's see. We did that. So the stock market, which nearly doubled since the March 2020 drop and is up nearly 40% since January, was the main source of wealth creation in America during the pandemic, as well as the main driver of inequality. Total wealth of the top 1% now tops 32%, a record. It's a lot of stock. The rest of us own very little. You got that right, Steven. While the market may be owned more broadly, the gains and wealth it creates are not being more widely distributed. When the markets rise, they will have far smaller dollar gains than the wealthier investors with hundreds of thousands or even millions. Well, duh. I mean, that's like saying I have $10 in a stock and you have 1,000 in the stock. When it goes up 10%, you make more. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Many of the younger investors also bought in at higher prices compared to the bigger investors who've been in the market for years and see larger gains. Yeah, I mean, a 20-year-old is going to buy their average Apple stock at a much higher price than the average 60-year-old who has some Apple stock. Again, none of this is too alarming. Many of the new investors have more of a trading mentality, buying and selling stocks rapidly with leverage in hopes of quick gains. While the strategy can create big winners, others may see lower returns than those investors simply just buy and hodl. May account for a large scale trading activity, but that's different than ownership and wealth. Yeah, I do think this age coming up does understand tech and stocks a little bit more. One, because Robinhood's an app and we're used to apps, and two, a lot of people grew up like trading Pokemon cards. Some kids are growing up, they you have the Fortnite original Halloween skin that TSM Myth used to always use. You could sell an account with that for like $500 at one point until they redid it. So yeah, the younger people, they're seeing this type of stuff play out in their day-to-day lives. So yeah, I mean, I would say that moving forward, each generation is going to understand investing a little bit more, but I think Bitcoin is going to be a big reason for that as well.
There you go. Did you see that poll they ran there?
No, what was it? More. I can only see more hats than. Oh, how many hats does DZ own? Well, this one just came in yesterday, so this is a new one. But
He's
I
got-
own more coins than hats.
You definitely do. Definitely has more NFTs than hats. The main ones
Way
I
more NFTs.
the main ones I remember was the Carolina Panthers hat, which I'm glad you've retired for a Falcons hat now. Congratulations. The market cap hat and that one.
Yeah, there's the American flag one that has the bill that kind
There
of
you
goes
go.
up. So,
Yeah.
and then there's the Hair Jordan one. I got a few, but
All
all
right.
right. Let's see here. What's Celcius NEXO? All right, so we jump. I think probably this one with two crypto lending firms ordered shut by New York James.
New York James. It's like Rick James.
Don't let him on your couch, especially if it was raining previously,
Oh,
because
gosh.
he has zero compassion for a white couch for sure.
This
I'm
guy.
not gonna quote him.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't.
We playing basketball later? Shirts versus skins. All right. I did make some. Anyways. All right. New York Attorney General General Letitia James said she ordered 2 cryptocurrency lending platforms to stop operating in the state. Sent 3 other platforms letters with questions about their operations. Mac and Cheesy went into that yesterday. Being in New York, it's just been a thorn in his side, to quote him.
Oh, so did you hear this? That Mac and Cheesy and Frank grew up
Yeah.
in the same street and loosely know each other? Like, what are
Yeah,
the odds?
I joke that they could be Eskimo,
Eskimo
anyways.
bro.
But yeah, I mean that is pretty crazy. We went to the same high school, you know, like a mile away from each other. What was their ages? Did you get that? Because aren't they roughly the same age?
They're roughly the same age, and I think Frank literally did know his sister in person, like had met and crossed paths
That's
with. Like, you're
wild.
related to this person, right? And he was like, "Yeah, that's my sister."
What?
Weird. It's really weird.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Small world, small world. Long Island, or as Frank likes to call it, Strong Island,
Oh,
Strong Island.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna be strong arming some companies. It sounds like, yeah.
So the crypto, the platforms must follow the law just like everyone else, which is why we're now directing them to shut down and forcing 3 more to answer questions immediately. The release states that the virtual currency lending platforms, they fall squarely within any of several categories of security under the Martin Act, meaning they must register with the state attorney general's office. The office posted 2 letters on its website in conjunction with the release. So we were covering this last night, or I was doing the topic on it. They redacted the names in the letters, and the one containing more information contained Celcius letter in the title, and the other ordered the Nexo letter. So they try to redact a lot of things, but then they left the titles of the letters. Person familiar with the matter confirmed that they received the information request, and Nexo confirmed they received the cease and desist letter. And the Nexo co-founder, Anthony Trenchev, said in a statement that the company doesn't offer its lending or exchange products in New York, so it makes little sense to be receiving a cease and desist order for something we're not offering in New York anyways. He said they would respond to the attorney general and described it as a clear case of mixing up recipients of the letter. These people are controlling your wealth.
Yeah.
These people are controlling your future. These people are regulating these things.
Yeah, and that's something to keep in mind. Like, New York has always been the most strict and harshest on crypto, Bitcoin regulation of any capacity. So that's why most likely Celcius and Nexo were talking about or not already operating in New York, because they just didn't want to deal with this. So that's pretty funny. Like he's saying, they sent us the letter. Must have been an accident because we're not doing anything there. So they just... It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. The lending firms have rapidly gathered tens of billions of dollars by offering the accounts to let them deposit crypto, in some cases earn double-digit interest. Like bank accounts, the accounts aren't federally insured, and some regulators have said the accounts should be registered securities. Now, New York is joining Kentucky, Texas, Alabama, a bunch of other states with taking actions against these lending firms. And so BlockFi, we saw the BlockFi news, back a few months ago. February, crypto exchange Bitfinex reached a settlement with Letitia James over the allegations that it hid the loss of commingled client and corporate funds and lied about reserves. Without admitting or denying any wrongdoing, officials who control Bitfinex and stablecoin Tether agreed to pay $18.5 million and to cease all trading activity in New York and New Yorkers. You know what this is not mentioning? This is for what they did in 2016 and 2018.
Yep.
So this is regurgitating Tether FUD from years ago. This isn't what Tether did today. This isn't Tether saying it doesn't have it on their balance sheet. They're making this more alarmist than it really needs to be. It's Yahoo Finance. I mean, whatever. But yeah, this is something they did years ago, and then they've since righted that wrong. They've gone through audits. It's just more Tether FUD. It's just bull crap. I mean, the Tether FUD, yeah, I mean, you could say like, oh, they should be more transparent, but at the end of the day, they're privately operated. How come we don't go to these, Carlyle Group and say, you should show us every investment that you're in? How come we're not up in arms about that? But, Tether, the Tether FUD, the Tether FUD, the Tether FUD. It's one of the things, like I mentioned that crypto whale guy. I hate even, giving him a platform there, but yeah, he's always regurgitating Tether FUD. I saw him tweet about this. He was saying, he was acting like it's a new thing. This Tether is for what they did years ago, 2016 to 2018. And even then they had the reserves. It was a percentage lower than where it needed to be, because I think they say you only need like 27% or something, and they were like close but not quite at it. So it's just smoke and mirrors, as Ben would say. How do you feel about covering Tether FUD?
Yeah, I mean, it gets old, like you were saying. It's just recycled. You feel like you're talking about the same story for 4 years in a row. So, I mean, it's definitely something they use, and it's interesting. It's something that so much of the mainstream public have heard about,
Yeah.
So, it just comes with the territory, I guess.
I trust me, I know. I produce ATB show. I know about covering topics, but we have to cover it because they keep bringing it up to the forefront, and they keep there'll be a court delay. It's like the O.J. Simpson trial. They didn't just like come in and say, all right, they were chasing a Bronco and then come back in 10 months. No, there's new things, there's new developments, there's new evidence, there's always something new. So yeah, they drag it along and they try to, ring the alarm bells. We're just saying, calm down. Now, maybe Tether blows up in 5 years. I don't think it will. I'm not saying like I know for sure that they're safe and everything's on the up and up, but they're passing audits these days. I think they're much, much too big to say, oh yeah, let's pocket $5 million. They're worth billions. So I'm pretty sure they're taking it pretty serious. Before the stream is over, let's give TJ and Uncle DZ combo more likes than Ben. Smash the likes, Twitch family. Yeah, Twitch family. You want to jump in there? And if you want to hit that follow button in Twitch, we definitely appreciate it. Early stream today. No, that's what happens when we start on time. I'm here. Concurrent viewers, 9,300. We're almost at 10,000. We're at 3,700 likes. If we can get to 4,000 likes, we will shock the YouTube algorithm. Speaking, all right, that's what MM Crypto says. MM Crypto bought another punk yesterday, dude.
Oh, did he? Nice.
He spent 440,000 on this one.
Baller.
Yeah, so I think he's in 2 punks right now. Total exposure roughly $750 million or $1,000 there. So $750,000 in 2 crypto punks.
Sounds like he needs one more NFT to get him to that 7-figure NFT collection.
You know what he needs? He needs some Pluto Alliance.
Yeah,
that's
that black hole.
Say. All right, let's get this. I've already lost 2 minutes here. Blockchain brings the sharing economy. You'll own nothing and you'll love it. To real estate investing. Crypto adoption in the real estate market could see fractional property ownership becoming more popular. Fractional ownership of buildings, property development is becoming one of the adoption areas for blockchain technology in the real estate business. From democratizing access to real estate investments to improving liquidity in the market, there's an argument to be made for tokenization being a net positive. Tokenization via fractional real estate investments, also another example of the emerging sharing economy. Seems to be encouraging crowd-funded ownership, a trend that could decentralize the global asset market across several sectors. However, as is the case with fractional ownership as a whole, the tokenized investing does come with a share of drawbacks. Given the novel nature of the enterprise, financing can be limited, leading to less liquidity in the market. And overall, caption, colors, arrow, trash can. As previously reported by Cointelegraph, Fraction, a subsidiary of Hong Kong financial tech firm Fraction Group, they denominate regulatory approval from Thailand Securities and SEC, basically, to trade tokens representing. All right, so we have fractional ownership getting the approval in Thailand, it appears. While the approval covers tokenized investments in physical and digital goods, the first focus is on fractional real estate investment. Will properly reportedly utilize an initial fraction offering. All right, so we got to learn a new IFO, I-blank-O, ICO, IGO, IDO. Now there's the IFO. According to the announcement back in September, the IFOs will provide easier entry into the high-end market for prospective investors. The tokens represent fractional ownership of luxury real estate listings for as low as 150, presumably lowering the barrier. I'm kind of for fractional ownership when it comes to a development. I'm less for it when it comes to a house.
Yeah.
Because that's what rich people do. Rich people got say there's a new strip mall or a new mall or new shopping center with, Whole Foods anchoring it. That's typically not just one person investing. They'll have, LLCs out the wazoo. And yeah, like Bill owns 10% and Mary owns 5%. And yeah, so we see that already. Now it's just going to be on the blockchain. But what I'm worried about is they'll try to implement this into, a house. And they'll say, well, you won't own that 3-bedroom house. You and 5 people will own it, and you'll all share. And good luck fighting over who gets the master bedroom with the bathroom. I guess Jimmy owns 2 of the 8. Yeah, so I don't know. It seems a little bit. It's good for commercial. I don't like it for residential real estate. That's my view.
And I think we're going to start to see the merging of the two. A lot of the developments that get created in the future are going to be like work, live, eat, or play kind of things where you have, the places to live, the places to work, and the places to buy and sell everything you need all kind of planned together. So if you're developing that with a fractional thing, then it will be like, hey, you know, all these investors own a bit of this apartment. You can come and rent and leave, but you don't actually own anything. So I think it's going to be a slow transition for all this stuff to develop. I'm real interested by the fractional ownership as well. I have a feeling this IFO concept will be real big next cycle. But it's going to take time. That's the one thing I will leave everybody with is all these ideas that you hear us talk about, the metaverse, where all this stuff is going. It's definitely going there, but it'll take time to get there. You know, just the technology for the computing power required to power all these metaverses, like, it's going to take technological breakthroughs on a lot of different levels to see all these technologies actually function the way we're envisioning. So just keep that in mind when you're investing. Just because it doesn't happen right away doesn't mean you're wrong about your thesis. It's all coming, but it's probably going to take longer than you think.
I'm gonna say sooner. I would say what DeFi was in 2020. You know, it was like the hot thing right before the bull run. I could see this being hot during bear market. Personally, I don't know. I can see the people who don't care about, you know, Bitcoin being up. They have the millions of dollars on the sidelines. So I can see them, like, a lot of, you know, whether it's Hong Kong, Asia, Malaysia, Thailand, you know, probably a lot later for America. But I can see the Asian market, since they seem to be moving towards this now, 2021. I can see this being pretty big, you know, next year, the following year, commercial real estate in Asia. So, yeah, something to definitely keep an eye out for. It's covered on the bottom. Did we have the one more topic with the Grayscale?
Nope.
All right. I guess let me just read this headline. Grayscale listed 3 cryptocurrency trusts: Zcash, Stellar, and Horizon. That happened yesterday. I think if there's a pump, it maybe already happened. But the Zcash, I think a lot of whales are bullish on Zcash. I see them talking about a lot. A lot of the Silicon Valley people like it. A lot of the Coinbase people like it. So I don't know. Zcash.
It's my favorite privacy coin, mostly because of what you just said. It's the only privacy coin that seems to have the nod of approval from the regulators and the people that are pulling a lot of the strings. Yeah.
So I think they'll serve as a vehicle. So I can see Monero getting targeted by regulators much more sooner than Zcash will. I think Zcash has some of the more allies in those smoky cigar smoke-filled dens where, you know, all the fat cats are talking to each other like a 1910 political cartoon or something.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got time for today. I will be hosting. Any parting thoughts on the DZ show today?
I thought it was great. I thought it was a lot of fun. We always enjoy the DZ day. So until next time, I guess we're out.
Yeah. Until next time, DZ, good job today. Thank you, Bobby. Dang it, Bobby. Thank you for filling me with a little pep in my step as I walk out here. I'm going to go ahead and make up the show. We'll check out some of that Grayscale stuff. We'll probably have to cover ETF. People like it. We got to talk about it. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And I'll look at some other topics. And another shout out to Classic Kev. Make sure you check out his channel, and that DZ_BTC. That's what you'll see on my socials. Not a dot, not double underscore, not 3E. So just beware of the scammers out there, because they're out there. And the Cardano pool, we're good to go now. So you'll be rewarded extra during the next 7 epochs. So stay in that. And that's all we got time for. Ben will be back tomorrow. And until then, easy out. Later, BitSquad.